Hello, welcome back to my channel, Mel Stamping Gallery. I'm Melanie, you're close to my heart maker. And for today's layout, I'm killing a kit. Well, I'm going to use it up anyway. I really don't like that term, killing the kit, but I don't know what else to call it. So I'm using it up. I've got this mitten kit, it's called, and it was last year's Valentine's Day special kit. I've got some of the papers left over from the kit. I've got, as you can see, very few stickers left over. And let me just show you what's left over in my bag. And you can see I've really used up this kit with cards, scrapbook pages, and if you stay till the end, I will have an example of a couple of scrapbook pages I made with this kit. Right, now, as I said, I had some of these papers left over, and I had this pink paper that went with it. Let me just show you what I did here. I actually did this on the Cricut Design Space, and I just put some hearts on a 12 by 12 rectangle and used the slice feature to slice out the hearts for the background. And then, of course, I placed it on top of my white daisy cardstock so you could see through that. And then some of the pieces that I had left over were these patterned papers, and I just wanted to place them across the paper like so. I think I'm going to put that one there. I think it's going here, and then this one went here. Then this one goes in the back right about here. This little one's going to go here, and then in the middle, it's where I'll put the photos. I didn't have a piece. I wanted to use this piece, but it wasn't long enough, so because I'm going to put the photos on top of it, I can cut it in two. And I've got this piece of coordinating solid color cardstock, and I found a piece of this yellow polka dot from my stash, and I just cut that and adhered that together to make kind of a border piece in the center, and that measures about 4 inches, so I'm going to put it at my 8-inch mark. So I've got about 8 and 4 inches from side to side. So there we go, that looks about even. I want to make sure I get these slipped in there. Just using a mono adhesive, and I'll just slide that in there. I didn't put the adhesive all the way to the edge so that I could slide it in there. And I just wanted all these pieces to be, oh, that's already stuck. Good job. There we go, perfect. Now I want to show you the pictures that I wanted to use. So I started with this one. My two granddaughters, they were goofing around, having a good time at Panera one day. But I took the pictures, and there was a lot of their pineapple and their food in front of them. So I zoomed in, tried to cut that out. Then there was just too much red. I don't know, it just didn't look right. Obviously, it doesn't go with these papers at all. So what I did was I cropped them out, and I printed them in black and white with a white border around them. And I thought that worked so much better for these papers, because now your focus is on the pictures. You're not distracted by all that ugly background on the seats and the brightness of her red shirt. Now, before I put those down, though, I almost forgot. I wanted to add, there's a couple little border strips from the sticker sheet here. So I wanted to peel those off and put them on here because I just felt that was a little too solid looking. So we're just going to line them up across the page. It just brings in the hearts and all those, the colors, the pinks and the melon mambo, or whatever color that is. All right, and then put the one up here, because I don't like having naked paper edges either. I just like to have something that finishes it off. So we bring that in, stick that down. And that's going to look good. Now we can bring the pictures in, and they'll go across here. And I'm just going to butt them up next to each other and kind of center them in the page a little bit there. All right, something else I wanted to mention about why this photograph is here instead of over here. If you look, my granddaughter is looking into the page going this way. So her eyes are going into the page, and this little one is looking this way, so you want her going into the page as well. You always want your subjects looking into the center of your page. Help me get these centered. I'm going to bring in my T-square ruler and put it up here at the top, hook it on the lip at the 6-inch mark, and this will also help me make it be straight. So I want it at the 6-inch mark there. Just put that down, and then I'll be able to bring the other one in, and if I butt that up against that photograph, it should be equal distance from the sides. So the basic layout is done. Now it's time for title and the embellishments, all the fun part. So as some of you may know, if you've been watching me for a little bit, I like to make sketches in my Cricut design space first before I make my title, so that I can get the right proportions. So I just did the sketch in here real quick in my design space. And then I just found a font that I liked with the word besties, and put it where I wanted it, and then shrunk it to the size I wanted. And then I was able to make the title, and it will cover up some of that pineapple-y stuff there. So, and I actually did, what I do is the letters themselves, I actually cut out 3 times and adhered them together so it looks a little bit more sturdy, kind of like chipboard almost. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put, I've got my mono liquid adhesive here, and I'm just putting that on the back of the title. What about putting it up on a pop, or on the foam? But it already has a lot of depth to it with all the layers. So I'm just going to kind of lay that over the photo and press that down good. Now over here, I've got this little area where I can put a little embellishment, and this Smitten set has a coordinating Stampin' Thin Cut, and I just love that little koala bear. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that, and then I'll be able to put that over here on the edge. So I took that out of the packaging. I'm going to keep the foam there and gently peel this off the excuse me, off the carrier sheet. And I'll move that aside, and I'm going to put this then on my acrylic block. And I have a piece of my scratch white here, stamp on my foam block, or excuse me, on the foam sheet. And I'm using my intense black ink, and the reason I'm using the intense is because I will be coloring this with the alcohol markers, and you want to use your intense black ink so that it doesn't bleed when you color. All right, for some reason I always hate stamping on camera, but here we go. And just press down. I really want to get that nose pressed down good. Okay, and then lift up. All right, and then I'll go ahead and color that in, starting with the lightest shade of an ice gray. I'm just coloring that in, and I'm not going all the way to the edge because sometimes I find it bleeds a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and color a little bit of this, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. Now I'll go back in with the darkest shade, just kind of over the top part here. And I'm just kind of going back and forth, kind of mimicking the fur he might have in his head. And then I can go back in over the whole thing with the lightest color again. And then adding more color into it. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and finish that off camera. So I got that colored in. Another thing I did with this balloon up here, I went ahead and I used it's kind of like a liquid glass, these Nouveau crystal drops, and I just thought that would be real pretty to add a little bit of color and dimension to this balloon. And then I've got the die cut, and I'll go ahead and put that, and I put that on. Of course I had to let that dry for a little while, the the drops. So I'll go ahead and I'll die cut that out with my Big Shot, and I'll be right back. All right, I've got that die cut out, and when I ran it through the Big Shot, it did crack it a little bit, but that's okay. It kind of looks a little bit shiny, I guess. I don't know, kind of like a real balloon. So I'm thinking that's going to go like that. And then I've got some of the other stickers that I took from the sticker sheet that I had left over. There were a couple really cute ones. This one says, "Hug your llama today." Since she's given her a big hug and a squeeze, I thought that's probably pretty perfect to maybe put up here. And I did go ahead and take the sticky off with an anti-static pouch, and that way I can put the stickers where I want them and then probably pop them up with some foam adhesive. I've got this space here. I kind of want to cover up that food cup, and I found these little pink chipboard hearts that I had from another collection. I'm going to put those down there with some, I did some mono adhesive on the back so I could kind of slide that around. And this arrow is from the sticker sheet, pointing to that title. So that kind of, that covers up that unsightly food down there at the bottom. We've got the Hug Your Llama. I've got this little file tab sticker from the sticker sheet, and I can just slide that in there, and I can add the date, which actually it just happened to be on Valentine's Day. I picked the girls up last year from preschool, and it was Valentine's Day, so I took them to Panera for lunch. So I think that will do it. I think I might put a little bit of journaling right in here just to say where we were, the date, the place, and that's about it. And I think I found one more sticker. I don't know where I'll ever use this one. It says, "You're my happy place." I think I'll just kind of put it right, scoot it in there. And now we're done. So I'll go ahead and lift this up for you so you can see some of the details, the title, and the cutout from the pink paper, and the sticker, and this one down here. And then I said I was going to show you some from last year that I made. So I'll bring those in right here. This is a double page layout I made last year. Can you tell who my favorite subject is to scrapbook about? I think I better start doing my new little granddaughter, who is 2.5 months old. So stay tuned next week, and you just might see some of that. So thanks for watching if you're still with me. And don't forget to check the description box below for links to all the products that I used in today's layout. And also, still shots will be on my social media pages, which are linked in the description box below as well. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Bye.